What's up, guys? Welcome back to the UKMF podcast, episode 9.
Yes, we've just done 2 months.
Okay, cool. Episode 9. Today we will be predicting the Premier League 2021-2022 season. How are you, Kev?
Right. Just got over my COVID vaccine, which was fun.
Yeah, I had mine ages ago, mate. Big NHS worker.
It was
Frontline Spen, mate.
woke up yesterday morning just feeling like death afterwards. It was not fun.
Yeah, yeah, you did look like shit in the Snapchats that you were sending me.
Well, how are you?
Yeah, I'm vibing, mate. I'm having a week off work. It's been very nice. Went away for the weekend. Went to Hastings. Went to the True Crime Museum. That was fun. Went to Ninja Warrior in Eastbourne. That was pretty
How
decent.
was that? Do you do well? Or was it?
It was all right. It was all right, but there was like bare little kids there, and I was just like, yeah, nah. Maybe going on a Saturday at like 1 o'clock was like a bad time to go, but.
Oh well.
Yeah, but like it was fun. We tried to do the big Red Bull thing, but couldn't do that.
Ah.
Literally, mate, I got on there and I just think I was like slightly too heavy. And every like movement I made, like the whole thing was like shifting mad. And I was just like, oh no. So I got stood up on the first one and then just like after like half a minute and then just fell off. So it wasn't
Solid.
wasn't wasn't ideal, but yeah. And then on our last day in Hastings, we played crazy golf at the World Championships course, which was
Sounds
it was sick.
fancy.
It was fun. They have pirate one, mate, and it sprays water at you. So I was just trying to avoid the water the whole time, to be honest, because I didn't want to have to drive home cold.
Can't blame you on that one.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so yeah, as I said, today we will be going through our Premier League predictions. What I've done is I have noted down who I think will finish 20th to first. And if Cav disagrees with me madly, then he's going to butt in and put his argument forward. And then I'll probably tell him he's wrong.
Nice.
So, going into my first prediction of who I think will finish bottom of the league, I've got Norwich.
Yeah, I'm gonna back you on that one.
They were awful last time they were in the league. They've lost Buendia, who was their best player last time they were in the league, and now they're back. So I don't see them doing anything.
Didn't they finish last 2 years ago as well?
Yeah, I think so. So I just don't hold much hope for them. Obviously, they've got Todd Cantwell, who's a good player, and Aaron's, who's a decent player, and Pookie, but I don't see them like in the centre of defence being strong enough, and I don't see them going forward having enough goals. I think Pookie will probably get about 10, and then but it's not going to be enough to keep them up. In 19th, I'm going to put Newcastle.
Oh, you think they're going?
I just think they're crap. Like I think they're really bad. Um, I actually quite like them as a club, but I think they play awful football. They don't have many good players. I just don't see how they stay up. I don't think they've got the goals. Like defensively, they're not great. They've got decent goalkeepers, but and their midfield is okay. But like their midfielders are getting older. Like they've got like John Joe Shelby like in the midfield. Like he's just getting older. They got the two long staffs who are decent, but and obviously they got St Maximan. But I just don't see them scoring enough goals to like win enough games to stay up. So I don't know if
Uh,
you,
I predict them to be like 17th, 16th.
yeah, like,
Like,
but
well, I think they're gonna get relegated, but they're gonna be like cutting a very
yeah,
fine line.
oh yeah, like I think normally when I see like teams like come into the league and like you see who they buy and stuff like that, normally I'm like, oh, like everyone's like improved, so it'll be like an interesting season. Like this year, I think it's like a really poor league. Um, I think that there's probably like 5 or 6 teams that could easily, maybe even 7 teams that could go down, and then the remaining teams around them are like safe. Like there's no way that they're like the rest of the teams are like far too good for them teams.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it'll be. I think the top 6, 7 are going to be on like really high points this season. I think the bottom 6, 7 are going to be on really low points this season. So I think it will be. It'll make for like interesting like scraps towards the end of the season to see like who's going to stay up and who's going to go down. But yeah, I just don't think Newcastle have the goals in their team to stay up. 18th. This is definitely like a controversial one. I'm going for Palace. Again, they're just a club that seemed, to be fair, the last couple of seasons they have actually made some good like young signings. Bought some decent players in. Like they bought in Eze last season. He's a good player, good young player. But their squad as a whole is still just getting older, year in year out, and they've just brought in Vieira as their manager, and
His
I
track
think
record hasn't been great.
no, it hasn't, and I think he got sacked from his last job. So I'm not backing him to do amazingly at Palace, but it's Palace or like the next like 3 or 4 teams that I'm gonna list. I think could be the teams that finish, including Newcastle. Actually, they're all like interchangeable,
Yeah.
but I don't like Palace, so I put them in relegation. To be honest,
I was gonna say Southampton.
yeah. Next 17th, I've got Watford,
Yeah,
and I think I just don't think their team's great. Like it's not bad. They've got like Ismail Assar. They've got Will Hughes. Obviously, they've got Ben Foster. So everyone loves Ben Foster.
GoPro legend.
Yeah, mate, he's got a sick YouTube channel. So, but yeah, I just don't see them. I don't see them going down, but I don't see them being great either. I think they'd be quite boring to watch. And the issue with Watford is that they like changed their managers so much that they never look like a settled team. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say they're even though they went down last time they were in the Prem. Obviously, I don't think they're as good as they were last time they were in the Prem. But I do think that they might. I think that the league is so bad this season that they might have enough just to stay up.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, I've gone for Watford in 17th. In 16th, like you said, John that case out.
That's right. I'll have a minute.
And yeah, in 16th, I've got Southampton, like you said. They just lost Danny Ings.
I was going to say, Danny Ings is literally a goal scoring machine.
Yeah, exactly. But they have replaced him with Adam Armstrong, and he, to be fair, at championship level, he's always done well. He scored a fair few goals for Blackburn. So I kind of hope that he does do well because every time I've seen him, he looks like a decent player. But they are pretty much relying on like 2 championship level strikers in him and Che Adams to like bang goals. So, I mean, their defense isn't bad. Like the defense is pretty decent. I can't even think who their goalkeeper is, so I don't think their keeper can be great. Obviously they got Ward-Prowse in the midfield. I personally don't think he's like an amazing player. He's like a really good like set piece taker.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's a brilliant player. But I think again, if Armstrong does okay, if he gets like 10 to 15 goals, I think they'll probably have enough to stay up because I think Adams will probably get like 5 to 10 goals. Ward-Prowse will chip in with a few from free kicks and stuff like that. So I think they will have enough to stay up. But I don't know how well they will do. In 15th, I've got Brentford, which is quite like a ballsy shout because I think they could finish bottom. They could be really, really bad, or their football that they were playing in the Championship will translate and they'll be good in the Prem, kind of thing.
Well, hasn't there like main striker like 20 or 30 plus goals, isn't he?
Yeah. He matched Glenn Murray's like record in the Championship. Tony.
It doesn't matter if he can keep that up in Prem, then they're laughing. But
yeah, exactly. It's they had, I think he was linked to like Everton, Spurs, and oh god, someone at Villa maybe. like if they didn't go up, then them teams were gonna like look to put in a bid for him. But now they've
Okay.
gone up. Now they've gone up. I imagine his like valuation went up mad just because they went up and they wanted to like actually stand a chance. Um, but yeah, I think they're gonna be. I think they'll be exciting to watch, but I don't think they'll pick up many results. A bit like what Brighton have been like recently. Like they play good football, but they'll like concede like sloppy goals and not finish everything that they should. So they
Okay.
won't finish as high up the table as they probably should. In 14th, I've got Burnley, just because they're going to play the typical boring Burnley football and just like shithouse results. Like against, like you're going to see them like go away to United and manage to get like a 1-1 draw where they'll like Chris Wood will score a penalty in like the
Yeah.
89th
Or
minute.
they literally just play for 0-0.
Yeah, like they're gonna pick up enough, like they'll get enough draws and like the odd occasional win to like put them like safer. And like Nick Pope's a good goalkeeper. Tarkowski's a good like centre back. Like Benmi's a good centre back. Like they're like defensively too solid to go down. Even though I'd like to see them go down because I just think they're so boring to watch. Um, yeah, they they should stay up based on how bad the league is this season. 13th, we're getting into some of the like the decent teams now. I've put Wolves. Um, I think with a new manager, Raul Jimenez coming back from his head injury, um, and just don't think, and obviously with the new manager, they've been playing that three at the back system for so long, and like I just don't know how like their defenders are gonna deal with it if they have to like convert to a four at the back system instead. I don't know
Okay.
how I don't know how good like Connor Cody will be in a four at the back system instead of like he's a good defender in like a three or five at the back system, but with in a four at the back system, do I think he'll be as good? Probably not. But I think like they've got enough quality in their team to like easily like they'll be like mid table. Like they like Neves is a good player. Moutinho, even though he's old, he's a good player. Um, oh, is it Neto on the left that they've got? He's decent. Jimenez is a good striker. Like they're easily good enough to they don't have to worry about being relegated. But I just think that it'll take them a season or two to get back to like being in like Europa League like contention again. Just I think they just need to get like used to playing with like under a new style because they've literally been playing this way for like 5 years now.
Yeah.
So I just think it's like a year of transition for them. But I think they'll be better next season. In 12th, I've gone for Brighton. Um, Last season, at the start of the season, they had Matty Ryan in goal. I think he had the second worst save percentage in the league behind Kepa. Um, but then they brought in Bobby Sanchez, and he's been insane. Like, he managed to get like into the Spain team for the Euros. He didn't play any games, I don't think, but he did manage to get into the team.
Managed to get noticed.
So, and he's been pretty decent. If Lamptey comes back from his injury, I think that's a massive like boost for them. Obviously, they have lost Ben White, but they did get 50 million for him, and I can imagine that they'll probably bring in another centre back. They've still got Lewis Dunk and Adam Webster and Dan Burn, like,
Yeah, I
and
think
Shane Duffy's come back from loan as well, and he so
their main issue is just a striker,
yeah, they
but
need
then
they
they
need
can
to
easily
find.
buy one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they just got 50 mil for Ben White. Like, if they sign like another centre back for like 10 mil, and then they have been linked with a striker from Benfica, I think, who got like 18 goals and 12 assists last year in the league.
Okay.
And I think they've been quoted like 35 mil for him or something like that. I can't remember his name, but if they get someone that can bang like 12, 15 goals and get like another like 5 to 8 assists in the Prem, like with players like Lallana, Bissouma, they've signed a new centre mid as well who looked decent from Salzburg. Um, who have they got in the wings? Obviously, they got Gross. I know he doesn't play in the wing, but I just think that their team is like far like last season. they should have done so much better than what they did. They didn't score the goals they should have scored, and they conceded goals that they probably shouldn't have conceded. So the chances of that happening again are pretty slim. So I'm gonna back them to finish like have their best like points tally and best like placement in the league that they've ever
Okay.
done. So yeah, I think they'll finish 12th. In 11th, I've gone for West Ham. Um, Obviously they're in European football, I think, this season. I'm pretty sure they are. And I think that's just going to play like a toll on that. I think it's going to have an effect. Like it'll for clubs that don't normally make Europe, when they play in Europe, it seems to have an effect on them. Like I
Yeah,
think Burnley,
those extra few games can,
yeah,
well,
like
pick an injury or two up, and that's you done pretty much from
yeah,
the other team.
exactly. Because yeah, their squads are never as deep as like the Cities, the Chelseas, the Uniteds, the Liverpools. Like the squad, their squads are always deeper, so they always have that rotational option. Whereas when like Burnley qualified like a few years ago, um, like I think they almost got relegated like the next season. So I don't think West Ham it'll be that dramatic because I think their team's like a lot better than any Burnley team that we've ever seen in the Prem. But I think that they will drop off slightly. But I don't think it's like a thing to be like. I don't think it's like a thing to be ashamed of. I think they'll be decent, and I think they'll pick up points off the good teams. I think their midfield's probably better than a few of the big teams.
I think
So
if they get like a decent run in a cup or something, I think they'd be chuffed themselves
yeah,
just for
exactly.
getting that.
Like yeah, like say they get through to like the Europa League like quarters or semis or something like that, then that's a good season. Like that they will have a good season. It just might not be the best season in the Prem. They
Yeah,
might end up going on like an FA Cup run and a Europa League run instead of a Premier League like amazing season. And I think if you're a West Ham fan, when you're not in Europe that often, and if they go on like an FA Cup run, get to like the final or like semis or something like that, like you got to class that as a successful season.
yeah. When you're
So
looking at the bigger teams, West Ham supporters aren't really thinking they're gonna exactly win it, are they? So
no, exactly, yeah. In 10th, I've got Everton. Um, I just don't. I don't think they're going to be great. Um, they've told James Rodriguez that they don't want him to stay. They said that they don't have a place for him in the club, which I think is mental. I know he wasn't like amazing last season, but for the first few months of the season, he was incredible, and then he dropped off. And you normally find that with a lot of players when they come from like Spain or wherever, like Germany or stuff like that, because they, especially in Spain, they have like a winter break over the course of the season.
okay,
I think they have like a Christmas break, so there normally are like players who don't play as well, like in the second half of the season. But normally in their second season, they do start like they're just used to it. So I think it's like incredibly harsh to not want him anymore. But it is, I guess it is what it is. I think Calvert-Lewin will do well. Um, they've obviously got Allen and Doucouré, who are decent midfielders. Their centre back partnerships good. Pickford is never as good for Everton as he is
yeah.
England, but he is a good goalkeeper. Um, so yeah, I think they'll be okay. I just don't think they'll perform anywhere near to the level that that squad should be able to perform to. Um, in ninth, I've got Villa. I think Villa have been. I think ninth and eighth could be either way round. I think Villa have done like some exceptional business. Like 25 million for Danny Ings, like a 29-year-old that does seem to get injured every season. It probably is an overpay. But if he's going to bag them, what, 15 goals in the season, and
Yeah,
then Ollie Watkins bangs them another 15 goals, what, 30 goals between two players, like that's decent for them. And they've got Leon Bailey on the left, who had like a great season in Germany last year by all accounts. They got Buendia on the right, who was linked to like Arsenal. I think he was linked to Spurs. I think Leicester were looking at him as well. So like he's obviously like a good player, and he did well last time he was in the Prem, and I think he got Championship Player of the Season last year. So like they're obviously decent players that they're looking at. So I think, or not even that they're looking at, that they've signed. Like Danny Ings is proven, Buendia is pretty much proven in the Prem. Bailey's gonna be good. Um, yeah, Martinez is a good goalkeeper.
I feel like the 100 mil for Jack Grealish the 3 players they bought from 100 mil will benefit them more than just having
Yeah,
Grealish there.
yeah. Well, yeah. Even if it doesn't, like, even if, well, yeah, the chances are it will contribute to more goals. Whether it will have like the same. The thing with Grealish was like he could just drive them up the pitch at any time. Like they gave
Yeah.
them the ball, and he literally like they could be like defending 1 second and then they're like attacking. Even if they don't score, like it just keeps the ball away from your goal. So yeah, I think they'll be pretty similar to how well they did this season. But I think they finished top half of the table, probably ninth. Eighth, I've got Leeds. I think first season they were good, finished top half of the table. Second season, I think they're going to be better. Rafinha was very good in his first season in the Prem. He's going to be more used to it. I think he'll probably get a massive move after this season. I think he'll end up going to one of the either the big like 6 clubs in the league, or he'll end up going to like a Bayern or a Dortmund or something like that. Like
Okay.
Jeff, I think he's that good. Bamford had a good season. Calvin Phillips is an amazing player. Harrison Reed's good. Like their backline's good. They've got a good young goalkeeper. Their squad isn't aging out at all, particularly. Yeah, I think they'll be decent, and I know that all like I know a lot of people don't like Leeds, but they're good. They've got a good manager. I don't think they've got anything to worry about this season. I think they'll be pushing for the European places. I don't know how you think Leeds will do because I think a lot is. I think they're a team that do split opinion a lot.
I mean, first thing that comes to Leeds, from watching it, I didn't watch much of them last season. But when I did, their attack is pretty solid.
Yeah,
They can score a hell of a lot of goals. When it comes to it, it's just if they could work on their back line a bit or just their defence,
yeah,
I could easily see them getting way above mid-table.
yeah. They're such an energetic team as well. I think they like easily cover the most like yards on the pitch each game. Like, yeah, it's mad, and they pick up results against the big clubs, which I think will do them well. So, um, seventh, I've gone for Spurs. This is on the assumption that Harry Kane will be going to City. Um, I think they're going to be awful.
I mean,
Obviously,
it's even if he doesn't go to City, I don't know if he'd be showing the same sort of passion to play for him because he doesn't want
yeah,
to be there. So why do he then put the energy into
yeah,
bagging them
exactly,
goals and playing to his best? He might like
yeah,
at the current state, you probably won't even feel like they have to start him because of who he is.
yeah, exactly. Like
But there'd just be no effort there.
it's a bit like the England thing, isn't it? When like he wasn't playing well at the start of the Euros, but he was getting picked every week, every game because it's Harry Kane.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I just think they're going to be really bad if they don't have him. I think Son will carry them through. I actually do think Ali will have a decent season. Um, but yeah, I just don't think they're going to be great.
I feel like if
Um,
Kane leaves, the state of other players like Son and stuff, will they actually still want to stay at that club?
yeah, exactly. I think Son's just signed a new deal, which is kind of like mugged him off a little
Yeah,
bit.
but
But
I feel like he'd be smarter than Harry Kane and have some sort of clause in there to say if someone offers him, he can leave. Because obviously Kane's
yeah,
in a thing where he's got like a 7 year, was it a 7 year deal or 5 year,
I think 6 year deal. I think he got,
6 year
but yeah,
deal? Then he can't leave with like a massive paycheck or some
yeah,
sort of
exactly.
agreement.
Yeah, no, yeah, I just new. Obviously, it's a new manager again. Yeah, I just don't think they're going to be great. I think their defense is pretty bad. Their midfield is okay. Højbjerg's a good player. Ndombele's a good player. I don't think Mora's a good player. I don't think he's a good winger. Um, I think Ali and Son will have a good season, but then if Kane goes, who's going to play up top unless they play Son up top? Like, I just
Yeah,
don't see them. I don't see them being. Obviously, they'll be decent because they're Spurs and they're going to be okay, but I just don't think they'll be great. Um, in sixth, I've got Leicester, which I think is a bit of a contentious one. Vardy's a year older. They have signed a new striker. Is it Patrick Daka? I think they signed from Salzburg. He looks decent. Iheanacho's a decent player. Um, Madison could be going to Arsenal, so he might not be there. And Ndidi's like sick. I think Ndidi's one of the best
He's
players.
so solid.
In that position, I think he's one of the best players in the world. Pereira's a good fullback. James Justin's a good fullback. Castagne's a good fullback. Their centre backs are decent, but Fofana's just broken his leg, so that's another big miss for them. Schmeichel is a good goalkeeper. So, but I think they could finish fifth, but I think they'll finish sixth because I think Madison might go to Arsenal. Um, if he doesn't, then I'd probably back them to finish fifth. But at the moment, I think they're gonna rely on Vardy for the first 10 to 15 games of the season, even if he doesn't play great. And I think he must be 34, 35 now, so it's like an extra year. That's probably like he's probably not quite as quick, and just little things like that.
Yeah.
I think he's just not going to be as good as he was, and I think it's going to be more evident this season. And I think they're going to have to rely on other players to score the goals that he was scoring. So yeah, I've got them Leicester in sixth, and then in fifth I've picked Arsenal. Again, I'm not confident on that pick at all.
Yeah, I feel like they could do a lot worse than fifth.
Yeah, like Arsenal could finish. I don't see them. I don't see them getting into the top four. I think the top four are like clear,
Yeah.
like quite clear. Arsenal could finish fifth. Arsenal could finish like 12th, 13th. Like they could be anywhere. I think Aubameyang will be a lot better this season. I think that he is a player that needs a crowd. I think he needs to be like a performer instead of a player. And I think like COVID with having no crowd like really like hindered his ability to play. Saka is just going to get better.
I feel like his confidence from the Euros will probably. Obviously, the finals is different, but the amount of praise and stuff he got for his performances will probably boost him a little bit.
Yeah, naturally he's just such a good player. I think Ben White is a massive addition. Like 50 mil is an overspend, but I think he's a massive addition to their squad as a whole. I think their right side of centre back looks decent. Gabriel's a good left sided centre back. Tierney's a good left back. Their right back needs work. I think Partey will be better this season. I think if Xhaka's the other CDM or centre mid, like he'll be okay. They've got that Lokonga, he looks okay. Smith Rowe, I think, will have a good season. Pepe, I think, will be a lot better. Leno's a good goalkeeper, so I don't see them being like, as long as they can keep their like first team fit, I think they'll be good. It's when if they get injuries, then I'll be like, oh, okay,
yeah,
this is where I see them dropping off. In fourth, I've gone for United.
Okay.
I know they've just signed Sancho, and I know they signed Varane, but De Gea is on a slope. If they might play Henderson this season. I don't know, but if they play De Gea, he is progressively getting like slightly worse every season. Wan-Bissaka's a sick right back. To be fair, Maguire and Varane will be a good partnership, and Luke Shaw's an insane left back. I think their central midfielder area is weak. It'll probably be Pogba and Fred, or Pogba and McTominay, or something like that. And I just don't think Fred and McTominay are like. You can't push for a title with them two, like sitting in like the like, chances are just gonna like flow through them. Obviously they're gonna have a attack of Bruno, Rashford, Sancho, Cavani, Martial, one of like something between that.
Only thing I'd say about that is obviously Rashford's out for 2 months with injury.
Yeah, Rashford's out at the start of the season, which probably means Pogba will play on the left, which probably means that you're going to have McTominay and Fred. So I think they're going to have a slow start to the season. I don't know what their opening fixtures are, but I think the first like month or two they could be like mid-table, and I think that might cost them later in the season to push up to like third, second, and first. I hope Sancho's good, even though I don't like United. I hope Sancho's good. But yeah, I think they'll be an okay team, but I don't think they'd be great. Third, I've got Liverpool. I think Van Dijk will take a couple of months to get fully back up to speed. I know you just signed Ibrahima Konate. He looks like a decent player. I think Alisson will be better this season. I think Trent will be better this season. But obviously, Robertson, did he break his leg?
I can't remember what it was exactly, but I know he's out for
a fair amount of time. So yeah, I think that left side of your defense will be like exploited a fair bit. Obviously, like your team's good, but your team, yeah, go on.
I feel like if you could keep Liverpool starting 11 fit for a season, they're up there for a chance of winning. But going off last season about injuries and stuff we had, I felt the players won't still be recovered from the endless injuries we suffered last season.
Oh yeah, no.
And we also need like Mane, Firmino to all kind of step up a bit.
Yeah. I think that's the issue, isn't it? Like you sign good players like Konate, but is Konate going to get in over Gomez and Van Dijk? Like will and it's like, okay, cool, like you're buying these players, but they don't actually break into the first team, and your first team's actually just getting older every season.
And it's also, I mean, like I'm looking forward to seeing Jota play for a whole season. Obviously, he got injured last time after going on like an absolute streak of scoring.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if he starts again and how he starts the season off. Yeah. But it's just almost things like Henderson in the middle. He's just injury prone recently. We haven't got Ronaldo anymore. So
that's true, yeah.
We haven't got that player in the middle who would just run the entire game. But on the other hand, I've got Thiago, who didn't step up last season, but once he got injured once he joined us. If he can stay fit for this season, he could be insane.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he is a good player. So, I don't get me wrong. I think that you're going to be one of the best three teams in the league, but I think the other two teams in the league are exceptional.
Oh yeah, much as I love Liverpool, I feel like we'd have to work almost 4 times harder than the other two teams we're going to say.
Yeah,
like it's doable, but it's just I think we haven't got enough options.
Yeah, to be fair, like if you won the Champions League, I wouldn't be that surprised. Like, I think like your team is better suited for Champions League football than it is Premier League football, because your squad's just not that deep. It's deep, but it's not that deep.
Yeah, once a few people are out of it, the options dwindle, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. In second place, I've got Chelsea. They're talking of signing Lukaku for 120 million or something like that. I feel like
it's almost pretty much confirmed at this point.
Yeah, like if Lukaku goes, then to be honest, they could win the league. Like, I don't think Mason Mount's that good, but he seems to be better for Chelsea than he does for England. I think Werner will have a lot better season than he did last year. Havertz will be good this year. Reece James is insane. Chilwell's a good player. Mendy's a good goalkeeper. Like, they don't have any weak spot in their team. So I just think Kante obviously is incredible.
I feel like they could easily win the league.
Oh, easily.
If they get Lukaku as well, it's almost if they get Lukaku and City don't get a main striker, it will be an extremely.
Oh, it'd be close. So close. It'll either be close or Chelsea will just walk it.
Yeah.
Like it's if they get Lukaku, then I think they must. If they get Lukaku and City don't get Kane, then Chelsea are favourites. If City get Kane as well as Chelsea get Lukaku, then I think it's City are just favourites kind of thing. So yeah, obviously I've got City first. I don't know if you disagree with that. I don't know if you think
I think it's just a random pick at this point, to be honest.
Yeah.
With all the recent signings, obviously you got Jack Grealish for 100 mil. I rate him highly, but I think the difference is with Man City, you have 2 almost Premier League winning teams if you just split the team in half.
Yeah.
Whereas Chelsea, you have their main starting 11, and then the bench is like they haven't got 2 Premier League winning teams like Man City have. I think that's where the difference is. If Chelsea get injuries in certain positions, that's where there's Man City with itches. But we've got someone on the bench for you. Not a problem.
That's fair. I think City. I think Grealish could be insane. Like if they sign Kane and they've got Grealish, Foden, and De Bruyne that start feeding him, they're going to score so many goals. Their defense is solid. I think they'll win the league. I'd like to see them sign a left back because their left back options aren't great. But other than that, if they sign Kane, then they could win the Prem, the FA Cup, the League Cup, and the Champions League. Champions League will be hard because PSG's squad is ridiculously good now. PSG's squad is not fair.
It's disgusting.
Mate, PSG could genuinely go not just invincible in their league. They could win every game this season. It's that good. But I think it'll be City, Chelsea, Liverpool, United top 4, and I think Arsenal and Leicester will make up the top 6 with Spurs just missing out.
I can pretty much back that. Only if I was to say top 4, I think it could literally go any of the top 4 could win it, and you wouldn't be surprised. Whatsoever.
That's fair. Right, moving away from the league table, who do you think will be top scorer in the league this season?
I think depending on signings of that, I think if you're looking at Kane or Lukaku, either one of those top goal scorer if they join their teams. If you're looking at people that are already there, I'm not even. I think I might even just back Salah again. Because he seems to do it. He either gets it every season or he literally misses it by one.
Couple of goals, 1 or 2 goals.
So I think I'll go Salah for current player. But if Kane or Lukaku join their teams, it'd be either one of those. What about you?
Pretty much the same. Based off the league now, as it is, based off who's playing where they are now, Salah, I think, is probably the most likely to get it. I think if Lukaku signs for Chelsea and Kane doesn't sign for City, then Lukaku will get it. I think if they both join, I think Kane will get it. I genuinely think if Kane signs and that Man City squad can stay fit for long enough, he could be looking at 40+ goals this season.
If Kane doesn't get a massive injury like he normally gets, easily.
He could easily it could be the highest ever scoring season we've ever seen. That team will be disgusting. Which team do you think will be a dark horse? So who do you think will overperform what everyone's not what everyone's expecting of them, but where compared to where they normally finish, who do you think will do exceptionally well?
I think I'll just go. I think I'll go Aston Villa. Obviously, they're not people are they're not a great team. Everyone knows they're a decent team. I think they're their 3 recent signings from selling Grealish. It's just they could do a lot better than what people are predicting them to do.
That's fair.
What are you?
I think you could say Leeds, but they did well last season. So I'm gonna put Brighton because I think Brighton could get relegated. I don't think they will. I think they're too good to get relegated. But Brighton could also push for Europe this season. Their squad is that good. It's just whether they score the goals or not. I'm gonna back. Even though I put them 12th, I think Brighton could finish top 8. I think between 8th and 13th are interchangeable in what I've said. So I think I'm going to back Brighton to do better than what everyone will expect them to do. Which team do you think will underperform the most?
I think depending on transfers, Spurs.
Same.
Even if they do keep Kane, I feel like people don't really ever back Spurs to do amazing.
No.
But I feel like their decline is... this season could be like their massive drop.
Heavy. It's heavy. Their decline is like ridiculously big. Yeah, I don't back them to do brilliantly. If I'm gonna go for anyone, I think Everton. I think they're going to be really boring to watch, and I think they're going to be quite bad. Like, I don't think they're going to be bad, but I think they're going to just be like, like this team should do a lot better. So yeah, I back you as Spurs being like the main ones, but I think Everton are going to be like the next like big team to not do as well as you expect them to do. And finally, who do you think will be player of the season?
I think once again it could literally all depend on signings.
Yep.
Like I think they both agree it could easily be Kane, Lukaku if they go to the clubs.
Yeah.
If not, you could be looking at, I would say maybe Grealish, but anyway, because there's so many people in that midfield of City, any of them could literally just.
Oh yeah, I think the only like City player that's safe to bank on is really De Bruyne.
Yeah.
And maybe like maybe like Ruben Diaz or someone like that. But yeah, I think De Bruyne is a safe bet, and I think that's who I'm going to go for. I think De Bruyne could. Talk of Kane breaking the record for goals. I think De Bruyne could break the record for assists if he stays fit this season. And Kane, if them two stay fit, Jesus Christ, mate, City are scoring so many goals. Like,
yeah,
there's gonna be like 7-8-0 wins this season.
Like, I feel like with the top four they currently are, like a top player could literally be pretty much anyone from the starting four.
Oh yeah, like it could be somehow, like based off last season. I'm saying somehow it could be Timo Werner. Like, he does so much of like the dirty work that no one like notices, where he like creates space for other players and stuff like that, and get like whips in balls. Like, he could easily get like 20+ goals and assists this
literally
season.
If he could just convert shots into goals, he'd actually be laughing.
Yeah, he'd be insane. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go for De Bruyne as my player of the season. I'm gonna make you pick someone.
I think player of the season is gonna be. I think I'm gonna back you on De Bruyne.
Yeah.
If they get that wonder signing of Kane.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because otherwise I don't know where the goals are going to come from. But obviously the midfielders score loads, but it's not going to be that 100+ goals a season kind of team. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's everything I have for the Prem that starts on Friday. Arsenal versus Brentford.
Then we'll have to review this in about a year's time and see how well we did.
See how badly we did.
But cheers for watching, everyone. We'll catch you in about a week's time.
Yeah, thank you.